Hello and welcome. My name is Grace and this is my channel. I want to start this video by thanking my generous patrons, benefactors on Patreon. Thank you so much for your generous support. Without you, I wouldn't be able to keep doing what I do. So thank you, thank you, thank you with all my heart and gratitude. All right, let's get started. I thought I would do a little checkup video. I don't know what to call this. Obviously, I just started recording. I'll figure something out for the title once I post it, but you already know because you're watching it, hopefully. All right. So I just wanted to, I don't know, do a little catch up, have a cup of coffee, and tell you what I'm up to, what I'm thinking, what I'm pondering. So in terms of, well, let's start with my goals for 2024 because I did the video where I talked about, I did the recap of my 2023, but I don't think I really went into detail what my goals are for 2024. Goals is probably a heavy word. It's more like how I'm wanting to approach 2024. And you know what? Honestly, yeah, it's mid February when I'm recording this. Doesn't matter. Any time you're wanting to reboot your life is the right time. You don't have to wait for the calendar, the first day of the new year. You don't have to wait for any day. Every day is brings with it the opportunity to start again, right? To reboot your life, to make changes, to choose different, to make different choices. My word of the year is choice, and my word of the year was drawn from an oracle deck. For the fourth year in a row, that's how I did it. It's the same oracle deck. I shuffle best I can because it's gigantic. I used the Living Altar oracle, but honestly, any oracle deck you have that has lots of keywords, that, of course, the keywords, you know what I'm saying, right? Like any oracle deck with keywords. But you know what? You can even choose a word of the year with your tarot deck. And the reason I'm talking about it today, it's mid-February, is because really it doesn't matter. So if you're sitting on the other side of this and you're watching me and you're thinking, oh, damn it, I didn't do that. I wished I had picked a word of the year. I wished I had made plans of what I want to do in the new year. Like, if you feel like you missed the boat because you didn't do it on December 31st, 2023, or you didn't do it January 1st, or you didn't do it in January, it doesn't matter. You know what? I'm giving you permission. Start now. The new year for you starts now. So my word of the year is choice. And I have been very active with my word of the year this year. A little bit is because I actually have the time to ponder it. Because, as those of you who may know, because you watched my last couple of videos, I'm sure I mentioned that I'm at home. Like, my job ended last year in the fall, and so I'm at home and I'm working on other projects and figuring out, okay, what I'm going to do with my life, kind of thing, the usual stuff, right? What am I going to be when I grow up? I don't know. I honestly do not know. If you have a suggestion, please comment below if you have a suggestion for me of what I should be when I grow up, because I still do not know. All right. So choice is my word of the year, and I've been actually being very, very active with it. I'm this year I chose for 2024 a list of things that I'm not going to buy. Obviously, for obvious, there's the obvious, right? It's like save money because I'm not working, but also I'm choosing to transition into a more simple way of living. Who knows? Maybe because I'm feeling the crone years. Maybe I'm feeling cronish. Maybe because deep down in my heart, I would love, my ideal situation would be to live in a house on chicken feet in the woods. Yeah. Oh, that is so attractive to me. Okay. But I'm choosing. I don't even know how it came about, but some of it might be from because I picked up that whiff in the air of that breeze, the soft breeze in the air, where other people are embracing a more simple way of living, a slower way of living. Maybe because I lived so freaking fast, especially the last 5 years, that I'm craving slowing down. But, slowing down, like not working harder, working smarter, ideally, which is new to me because I'm really good at working harder. I'm there. I haven't quite cracked the code of working smarter, though. A lot of it has to do with, my profession, where, we could always pick up another shift. You know what I mean? It's, yeah, I'll pick up another shift. I'll pick up another 2 shifts, whatever. So I'm choosing to slow down this year. And in order to, and slowing down is across the board. I have completely slowed down in my spending. I have a whole list of things that I am not purchasing in 2024, and that would take a long time to list. I'm only replacing essential items in 2024. Essential purchases only. Essential meaning, of course, food, utilities, all that stuff, right? But also clothing, when clothing wears out, and essential consumables only. Because I tell you, the way I was living up until, I started to reflect on how I was living is like pretty much like everyone else is living. You know what I mean? It's like, well, there was you go shopping, you see something, you buy it. Doesn't matter. Like an example would be like a body lotion or makeup or something like that. Something that's not essential. Not essential because I have a shop full at home because I love that stuff. So of course I have quite a supply. To as well as for my my other interests and my other practices. And my spiritual practice has slowed down as well. My spiritual practice has gone more internal. And because it's gone more internal, I am practicing less outward expression of my spirituality. But, there's still things I use, right? Like I still light candles and I light incense. But man, again, I got a shop full at home. I'm pretty sure I can make it all through 2024 without running out. Excuse me. So choosing to this slower way of living and choosing only to there it's hard to break old habits. Okay, friends, let me tell you, it's hard to break old habits. Um, when, stuff like, shopping as a pastime, shopping as a stress relief or release, shopping, just shopping in general, right? But I was able to break that habit. And now, because of the kind of personality, I'm all or nothing. I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I can't help it. It's my nature. All I could do is try to mitigate it with, self-awareness. But now I've gotten to the point where I have an aversion to shopping. So somewhere along the line, I'll figure out a happy medium. But that's most likely because I was using so much of that activity to block out, to relieve stress, to reward myself. Here's the thing. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And I'm starting to see people half my age have more sense than I do. I see people who are half my age, who when I was their age, I didn't have half the sense that they have right now. And I think that is the beautiful part of the good side of social media is, having access to, well, okay, now I have access to younger people in my home, thank goodness, and they keep me young. But I'm seeing that there's more, that even younger people in their 20s people in their 20s and 30s are looking to simplify their life, are looking to slow down, are seeing that we don't need to be we don't have to buy. There's very few things that are essential in life, and shopping is not self-care. In my community tab, I think it was yesterday, I shared a video of a therapist's video where he describes the difference between like what we think is self-care, or the self-care that's been marketed to us, versus what self-care really is according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So that's a really good listen, and I I strongly suggest that if you haven't seen it, it's posted on my community tab. Oh my God, people, English. Always there comes a point in my video where I get lost in the language. So it's choices that I'm making, and these choices, choosing the content I'm consuming, because I'm still consuming a bit of content, you know what I mean? It's like I don't, as much as I fantasize about living in my little house on chicken feet in the woods, I don't, right? And so I'm being more selective. I'm consuming content, but I'm being very selective about what I'm consuming, because another thing that I've been pondering this year so far is how, because of this medium, which is fantastic, right? Because imagine, right? You could be on the opposite side of the world, and you're watching me right now, and we can interact in the comment section, and it's fantastic. I'm in your living room right now. Ooh, and it looks very nice. I love what you've done with it. But I've also been pondering um, how on the one hand, how we inspire each other, and the flip side of that, or the dark side of that, is how we poison each other. And this is whether uh, we are watching content on the internet, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok. Okay, me, TikTok is not for me. But, it's for a lot of people. I understand. Instagram, X, whatever, Facebook for you people that still love Facebook. No shade, no shade. I love Facebook. Facebook is how I keep in touch with my IRL friends and my extended family all over the world. So it's fantastic. I just find it really hard to keep up with everything because since it's a couple of years now that I've pulled back from doing the social media thing, that now I'm having a really hard time. I'm one of those, I pop onto Instagram and I'm there for a couple of minutes and then I got to get out. It's, it's like the mall for me. Facebook is because my Facebook is strictly for IRL friends and extended family, extended relatives and like relatives and stuff like that. That's like it's like going to a family social gathering. Sometimes it's a little too much. So there too, it's like I pop in, I look around, and I leave. But back to what I was saying. There's so much inspiration to be found on the internet. And I'll use this medium right here, YouTube, as my example. There's so much inspiration to be found. And when I first started watching, when it first occurred to me to look up on YouTube if there was any information on tarot, one of my passions, I was so inspired. There was so much inspiration to be had. There was so much to see, there was so much to learn. What? People modify their tarot decks? That's incredible. Oh my gosh, that's so personalized. I love it. Oh, wow. Like a whole world opened up before me of like all these different decks. And it was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible, right? And this is how I felt. I felt like this is so and then I wanted to participate. So I did. I started posting on my channel. I actually started posting videos about tarot. And then it just, it snowballed from there, right? It was very inspirational. It was very inspiring. It was very energizing. And then the sun starts to set on it. And the dark aspect comes out, how we poison each other. So on the one hand, we're inspiring each other. And then on the other hand, we're poisoning each other. And with poisoning each other with the overconsumption, right? Let me be frank, okay? I started my channel in 2019. It was June 2019, 6 months before the world shut down, or okay, 6 to 8 months before the world shut down. And then we were shut down for a while, right? We were shut down for a few years, and it's been really rough. And we I'm the first one to admit that I'm pretending it didn't happen. I'm trying to pretend it didn't happen, but it did. It did. The world shut down. We were all affected by it. It doesn't matter what your niche is, what your hobby, what your niche, what your interest is, what your passion is. What I experienced with the deck accumulation and all that, and other people that I know experienced with the deck accumulation, there's people in other niches that experience the exact same thing, whether it's perfume, electronics, you name it, right? Boots. Yeah. But then we start the same just like we inspire each other and we energize each other, I witnessed how we poison each other, myself included, with the unboxings and of decks. And for me, it's still, I'm never going to get over the fact that that was like just wrong for me. It was just wrong because for me, they are not consumable objects. They are, they're alive with spirit. And what I did was just, I'm still recovering from the effects of having done that because, again, there's the accumulating and the and all that excitement, and then there's the having to get rid of them is not as easy as ordering them and bringing them in. Those of you watching who have moved all those decks on, you know what I'm saying. It is not easy. It was not easy to rehome them. And, those of you who thought that you were, it's an investment, oh my gosh, when I hear the word investment applied to decks, that really, I'm sorry. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to take a little side tangent this way. I understand that in the context that, there's two types of people or two types of descriptions of that decks are an investment. The first one is, this limited edition, limited printing, indie deck. Only so many are being released. Get in now because this thing's going to be worth like $2,000 down the line. No. Look, it's a free market. And you can price your stuff at however you want to price it. But it's a buyer's market. Just because you list it, just because someone told you that this limited edition deck is now worth $2,000, doesn't mean it's only worth what people are willing to pay for it. So there's that type of like the literal investment, where this is then oh my gosh, no, there's three types of ways that the word investment is used for decks that really skeeves me. It absolutely skeeves me. Skeeve is Italian American dialect for disgust. Okay, skeeve, that's the word of the day. It really skeeves me when there's a third one. The other one is it's an investment in yourself, it's an investment in your personal growth. No. An investment in your personal growth would be to spend that money on a therapist. Investment in your personal growth would be to invest that money in a proper education that would advance your career, that would advance your stand, or at least advance your standing in your career, advance your education. That's an investment. Okay? Not a tarot deck or an oracle deck. That's bullshit. The third one that I really find skeevy, okay, there's that word of the day again, skeevy, depends on where you're from. Some people use the sh sound at the start. Other people just use a plain S sound. So we're going to go with skeevy. That's from the Italian schifo, by the way, in case you were wanting the etymology of the word. My God. Okay. Back to the third one I find absolutely foul is investment as euphemism for stupidly expensive. So again, people are free to do what they want with their money, but this is still in line with what I'm talking about, how we poison each other. And when people who are presenting on YouTube or whatever, and you're wanting to describe something, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's because I'm, you guys, those of you who've been watching, you know how I am, right? It's like, no, just use the real word. It's freaking expensive. It's not for everybody. Not everybody can afford this thing, but I like it. Is way better than the euphemism, this is an investment deck, because it implies. See, here's what I find, this is the poison in the message. An investment deck implies that if you do not purchase it, then you are not investing in your spirituality. You are not investing in your personal growth. And that is utter bullshit. And don't let anyone tell you that and you believe it. So it doesn't matter. Like if someone says that to you, oh, you know what, you really need this. It's an investment product. It's an investment in your personal growth. It's an investment in your spirituality. You know what not spending the money is? An investment in your future. Okay, I'll stop now on that one. But again, I've been really pondering this a lot this last, this early part of the year, how we poison each other. And I'm also been pondering because I'm not going to be a hypocrite, man. I am pondering how I may have poisoned, how I may have contributed to the poisoning. And it's really giving me pause and making me extremely uncomfortable, because it's impossible that I did not engage in behavior that was also poisoning to other people. And for that, I wish to apologize. So if you're watching and you thought to yourself, wait a second, and I'm the one who fed you some poison, I apologize, because it's really weighing on me. If I ever showed you something and you felt like you needed to have it because I showed it on my channel and I said, ooh, I love it so much, whatever, and you couldn't afford it, and you felt compelled to obtain it even though it wasn't in your budget, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I know and I understand this for myself as well, that me too, like, that's a choice I would have made. You know what I mean? It's like I understand that we're all adults here and we're all making our own choices at the same time. I just felt like, because I've been thinking about it a lot, the role I played as well, right? And the role we all play, and we all play a role, and in the role I played with myself as well, right? So I'm not saying that, it's my fault you went out and you bought stuff or whatever. What I'm trying to say is I apologize for however I may have contributed to that message. So yeah, I've been pondering that a lot. Oh my gosh. And now the last thing I wanted to share with you is some of the things that I've been enjoying this first part of the year. Decluttering. Oh my God, people. I didn't have the time, the energy, or the mental capacity up until recently to start properly decluttering. And there's some like really smart people on the internet who figured out decluttering for okay, remember Marie Kondo? That didn't work for me, because pulling everything out of my closet onto my bed and then figuring it out was overwhelming. But there's some pretty smart people on the internet that have come up with other methods. And I am a huge fan of the no mess decluttering, um, no mess decluttering method. Fantastic. So I've been enjoying that because it's allowed me to it clears the mind too, right? Decluttering also clear, decluttering your space also clears your mind because your physical space is representative of your internal space. At least in my case, it is. What was I going? There was something on that note that I wanted to touch. Oh, so part of the stuff that I decluttered, I don't know, in case you're interested. I started the decluttering in my office here because this dresser that you see behind me is this old vintage dresser that someone just dropped off. And so my father-in-law is 94 years old. He's amazing, and not too recent, not like up until not too recently, he was still tooling around in the garage and doing carpentry and stuff like that. And then he had a stroke, and he slowed down quite a bit. But people used to just drop off furniture in our driveway. They wanted to get rid of something. Hey, he might like to do something with it. And they would just drop it off in our driveway. So this is one of those things. And I store all my craft supplies in there, and stationery and craft supplies, stationery, office supplies, and all that stuff. So that was the first thing I did. Was may not be the first thing I did, but I did that this week, and it was done in no time without making. It didn't look like a bomb hit my office, which is like fantastic, just fantastic. And then I went through, the witchy stuff and all that stuff, and I've really streamlined the tools that I use, the supplies that I use. I didn't get like it. I didn't get rid of too much because I'd already done like quite a streamlining of my practice. It's gone since I took down my working altar last year. It's gone really my practice, my spiritual practice and my magical practice has gone really more internal, and it's where I am right now. That may change at any time, but for the moment, that's where it's at. So it's just it's good. It's good to let things go, especially the things that carry guilt. And some objects carry guilt, some objects carry obligation, some objects carry shame. And I think if this part of the conversation is interesting you, you might want to look into doing a little decluttering. Nothing crazy. Dip your toe in. But for me, it's been a different kind of decluttering. It's been more mindful. It's a mindful decluttering. It's a gentle decluttering. It's nothing crazy, nothing Swedish death cleaning or anything like that. I'm not prepared for that yet. No. But I'm not. It's just because I'm not ready for it. I don't have anything against it, or I don't even have like a judgment about it or anything like that. It's just that that's not where I am right now. And the decluttering. Well, when you start having to really look at something that you've had, in my case, for like 40 years, sometimes even 50 years. I have stuff that's been with me, not much, but I've had some things that have been with me since I was 5 years old. Again, not much. And those things I kept because really it's just a handful of objects. But it really, there's something healing in doing it the right way, and in taking your time and being gentle with yourself, that I don't think I understood until recently, that there's a way to work through these feelings. And we each have to find our way. It's not it's not a prescription. It's not an over the counter thing that we could just, dispense to everybody. And it's, it really is something that needs to be, more like a prescription. You have to figure out what kind of person you are. Like, why are you hanging on to all this stuff? There's all these theories as to why we hang on to things. And I'm just talking about like normal people, not hoarders or anything like that. I don't know anything about that. That's like, I'm just talking about like, normal people. You know what I mean? Like average people and the stuff that we hang on to. In my case, most of it is because I just didn't take the time to look at it. And then, or to work through the feelings as to some objects become vessels that we stuff our feelings into so we don't have to deal with them. And that's what I discovered about myself. Which now brings me to the last thing I want to talk about today. Tarot. Okay. So because of the decluttering that I've been doing, it had me thinking about like different, so I was already thinking about different, like, because I picked up my experiential meaning of the cards series again. I'll be continuing that, and that'll, more regularly, just like I'll be posting content more regularly. I'm just getting caught up. But what I wanted, sorry, John Travolta's upside down. He does look like John Travolta. Oh my God, seriously, terrible. Okay, here we go. Yeah, once you see it, you can't unsee it. What I really like, there's different kinds of readings that I enjoy to do for myself. Excuse me. Oh my God, I almost made it without almost sneezing. I'm good. There's different kinds of ways I like to use or I like to read tarot cards for myself. And one of my one of my most comforting things, right? One of my most comforting readings, or more explored. Sometimes it's comforting, depending on where the reading goes. Sometimes it's just it feeds a curiosity I have, and that is reading the past. I don't know if again, because I don't know what other people are talking about, because I'm still like, I'm pretty like staying in my own little cave. I don't think anyone talks about reading the past. Could be really, first of all, reading the past can teach you how to read tarot faster than any book, any course. Sorry, you guys, you know how I feel about tarot books and tarot courses. Unless I've never mentioned tarot courses as well. Unless the person is 80 years old and has been reading tarot for 60 years or 70 years, I would never attend a course. But that's just me. I'm terrible. Guys, you know how I feel. I'm like, I would skip class. That's how I feel about tarot courses. Anyway, the most fun, it's fun and you get something out of it, is reading the past, because that's how you learn your own personal associations with the tarot and the tarot cards, right? And you could start right now by reading the past. And you know what? One exercise that I love to share with friends or anyone who's new to tarot is, why don't you start reading about what happened today in the evening, or what happened yesterday? Okay, so you would just take your tarot cards and you shuffle. I dropped a couple because see this is one that this is the one I modified. Oh my god, it's terrible. Look how thick it is. US Games. And it's, yeah. Anyway, so I got an overhand shuffle, and half of them end up on the floor. And you start by picking a card, and you can just ask the tarot, hey, tell me something about yesterday. So, tell me something about yesterday. And you pull the Emperor. And you look at the card and you say, okay, so you go over yesterday because yesterday's already happened. And you just ponder this Emperor card and how it relates to yesterday. And it's like almost like playing I Spy, because where was the energy of the Emperor present in your day yesterday? And sometimes it's obvious. And well, did you have to take action? Or like, sometimes it's obvious. You had a meeting with your boss, and your boss gave you instructions that you need to implement something, right? And other times it's less obvious and it's more internal. So you could start with what happened yesterday. At this stage in the game, I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. I don't know last time I did tell me what happened yesterday. Sometimes though, at the end of the day, after a really hard day or a very puzzling day, a very puzzling exchange with someone, especially at work, I would come home and say, what was that? Or however you like to phrase your questions. Me, I literally would pick up my cards and say, what the fuck was that today? And see what the tarot has to say. And I'd have a conversation. It's not just one card. It's like when I pick up my tarot deck to have a conversation about something, it's literally a conversation. I ask the question, I pull a card, I tell, I don't know, the deck, the spirit I'm communicating with, the spirit of the deck, whatever it is that you believe in, it works. What I think it means by that card, and then I pull another card and it'll correct me if I'm wrong, or it will what's the word? Confirm what I read in that card. It's really, really fun. It's really fun. And also, again, it's a great learning process to learn what your experiential meaning of the cards are. Because honestly, guys, that's really what matters. I share with you my experiential meaning of the cards so that you watching hear me say what I have to say and you go, oh, wait a second, that's a lot like what I experience, or it allows you, or you give yourself permission to have your own experiential meaning and trust those experiential meanings, right? So what happened yesterday? What the fuck was that? What happened today? But also, because of the decluttering I've been doing, I've been spending some time with my cards every day and revisiting occurrences from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I've gone as far back as 40 years ago since I started decluttering. Just, what kind of questions do I ask? I'd like to have this. So I would go back to a memory, and remember, memories are never exactly as it happened. It's a story we tell ourselves of how something happened. And that doesn't matter because there's no right or wrong answers here. This is just an exercise in finding peace. So you go back to a memory. You walk through the memory in your mind. Then you pick up your tarot cards, or I pick up I'll talk about me. I pick up my tarot cards and I do a reading on what just happened in my memory. Asking questions. Well, what did that person mean when they said? What did I misunderstand? What did I understand correctly? What is haunting me about this exchange or this memory? And I just find it to be a really, really healing way to spend time with the tarot. And I hope what I shared today inspires you, not poison, inspires you to pick up your tarot cards and read the past. All right, I think I've talked enough. Thank you so much. If you're still here, thank you so much. If you've fallen asleep, you need to wake up. You have things to do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put you to sleep. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your input. I love interacting with you in the comments section. I'm trying to be better and replying, but I read everybody's comment. I read all your comments, and I'm always so interested in your experiences and your. You don't have to agree with me, is what I'm trying to say, because that's how I grow, and that's how we grow, right? So feel welcome to leave a message below. Tell me, have you ever read the past for yourself? Because we talk about like fortune telling and where I come from, we call getting a tarot reading having your future told, right? So have you ever had your past told? Have you ever done it yourself? I don't know. I don't think I would go to someone else to have them tell me my past, because again, memories are, it's really, usually we're reading on stuff that's very sensitive and very personal, right? Especially when it has to do with the past. But let me know in the comments below. Have you ever thought of reading the past? I'm sure someone has. It's probably, I can't imagine it's just me. And what's your, like, what are you finding, what have you found beneficial from reading the past? Me, it's given me closure in scenarios where it's impossible to get closure any other way, because the people are either dead or I'm no longer in contact with them. And it's also helped me to grow and be a better person, which, I need to work at a lot. And I continue to work at. All right. Again, I'm going to try to close this off again. Thank you so much for being here. Wherever you are in the world, I'm wishing you a beautiful day.